I don't know if you're ready for this or not.
Are you pregnant?
Oh God, no.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh God.
I was about to
No,
say,
no.
girl, Greta's about out of high school, isn't she?
Yeah, I ain't starting over. I'm so sorry. No. Whew, it'd also be a miracle from God Himself if that were
I'm
to
with
happen.
you. Oh, I'm with you.
Hey, this is Alicia,
This is Melissa.
and this is Dark.
Dark.
But no, my mom, she moved in with us about it's probably almost 4 weeks now. Um, and she's been doing really well around here. I really appreciate everything she's been doing. But I haven't gotten up the courage yet to tell her that my dad is living in our closet.
Your dad is living in your closet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Explain.
Okay, see, my dad passed away last year
Yes.
in September.
Yes.
We had him cremated.
So he's in a little box in the closet.
Yes. And before people come at me and be like, "Why is your dad in the closet?" Um, well, my therapist told me to put him there. There's that.
Well, that's a good reason.
Well, okay. After he died, like I had a lot of like ups and downs about
Mm-hmm.
it. I mean, you go through that grieving process. It's there, so you can't really do too much about it. But my sister was supposed to get in contact with me to schedule a day for me and her and my aunts and uncles, his brothers and sisters, to go out to the farm where I grew up to go spread his ashes as his per request before he died. So she had me go pick up the box.
And I know
And
what box it comes into. That's the bad thing. I know exactly what you're talking about.
yes, I have this box sitting in a bag in my closet. And the reason why is because my sister has never called me back almost after a year. Yeah, I'm
Oh
telling you guys.
Lord.
Because you know how our relationship is. We really don't have
Yes.
one. And
Yes. It's like you and
so
my eldest brother.
yeah, exactly. Like we just
Mm.
don't talk. He's been living in our closet and we haven't gone to spread his ashes yet. And I was going to do it without her, but then I would figure she'd be pretty pissed if I did that. He just basically lives there. And before people come at me, just to let you know, my dad would find this hilarious that I am
Yes.
hiding him from my mother.
Yes. And he would probably be okay with it.
Oh yeah, and because for those of you who don't know, my parents actually got divorced prior to him passing away, and they had a no contact agreement between them. And so I'm pretty sure my dad's cool with me like hiding him in the closet somewhere right now while she's in
It's
the
just the fact
house.
that he's in the closet.
Yeah, I feel really bad about that, but there's not really much I can do about it. Like, I just don't want to, because okay, honestly, okay, and everybody's gonna be like, well, your mom gonna hear this? No, she doesn't listen to our podcast, and I don't even think she could even figure out how to get here in the first place.
Right.
So,
I feel that on such a personal level.
exactly. So it's like, okay, so what do I do? And because I'm afraid that if she were to find out that she may either A, freak out, B, do something with the ashes. I know that's horrible to say, but if you would have known their relationship with one
Yeah.
another, it would have been, yeah, it would be
Throw it
bad.
down the she would probably throw him down the garbage disposal.
Oh, she'd probably flush him down the toilet. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
that was their relationship. Yeah, I'm not saying a word yet, and I'm trying to figure out how to get him out of the closet.
Well, you tried that with your ex-husband. It didn't work too well.
I know, right? I tried so hard.
Oops.
Oop. Anyway, so yeah,
Which
that's
he doesn't know, by the way, that we have a podcast.
He probably does. I mean, okay. I
Because
was just
we know that if he did, I would hear about it, and I haven't heard of anything about it. So,
yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure he would have a lot of words to say. I was thinking about him the other day and about how he thinks I'm obsessed with him.
which which again, guys, we're ex sister-in-laws.
I was
So
married to Melissa's brother, so
yes, yes, what?
and
Yeah,
so
just
I,
yeah. Let's just
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, let's just yeah. And I was just like, I'm totally not obsessed with him. Like I don't even give him a second thought. Like I could care less what
It's
he is
okay.
up to.
It's okay. I really I'm in the same boat
I'm just
with
like
both my brothers.
I just don't understand like people who think that other people are obsessed with them and they have absolutely no contact with them. They don't talk about them. They don't seek them out. Like I have never purposely been like, "Hey, how are you?" Like I haven't done that in like
Years.
years. Yeah, but anyway. But so yes, I'm trying to get my dad out of the closet. And apparently I'm not very good at doing that for people.
You're not.
Um we're selling our house.
You're
There's
gonna have to
that.
get him out of the closet soon.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is going to be very important. I have to get him out of the closet because we're going to be selling our house. Because my fiance is going to be going back to school in a couple weeks, and he's quitting his job at the end of the year, and so we're cutting expenses. So that's been my weird, random week. How has your week been?
Busy. I worked 40, almost 53 hours this week.
You sound like me a couple weeks
And
ago.
they've been driving me to hell and half of Georgia. Well, actually hell and half of South Carolina. I wasn't actually that far away from you for 3 days this week. I was in Sherrod,
Mm-hmm.
Bennettsville,
That's
and
real close.
McBee.
That's super close.
Yeah, I had to go to Hartsville to get something to eat. And I was like, I know exactly where I am. I had to go to the cookout in Hartsville to get
Thank you
something
so
to eat.
Thank you so much for calling it MacB.
It is McBee.
Yes.
I
For
know it
those
is because I got told that by several students because I kept calling it McBee and they're like, no, 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 it's McBee. Like, I'm sorry.
yeah, I love it when people say where is McBee at? I'm like it's MacB, but it's spelled MCBEE.
CBE. And
It
it's
don't matter.
McBee. And I got, attacked by gnats in McBee. And I can still hear them like a few flew in my ear.
Mm.
And it was just and everyone was like, yeah, we just have really bad gnats down here. I'm like, y'all are crazy. I can't deal
Uh-huh.
with this.
Yep. Yeah, I get it. Like it's bad down here. The mosquitoes are super bad down here. It's hot down here. I told Travis the other day, I was like, I cannot wait for us to be able to leave South Carolina. Like you have no idea. Like I am so excited that we've decided not to go to Hickory. We're
Oh,
going to we're going to Boone.
oh, Jesus. So you're a
I'm
little
so,
bit further north than me.
yeah, just a little bit, like only like 45 minutes or something like that.
But,
Extra
well, no,
than
yeah, I was about to say Hickory is about 45 minutes as I triangulate where I am in North Carolina.
so yeah, it because I was looking at the temperatures today in Boone and it's like 70.
Oh, yeah, it's 75 here.
It's
I'm outside and I'm
90.
like, yeah. Oh, yeah,
It's
no, it's,
90.
I
It's
know, it's in the
ridiculous.
70s, maybe low 80s right now.
Oh my God, I hate it so much, but there's not much I really can do about it right now. We just have to grin and bear it for another 4 years, and then we'll be all right.
So, are you
Yeah,
ready?
I'm ready. Oh, that reminds me, I have something for you. Hold
Uh-oh.
up. Before we do this, I got to send this to you because, like, if I don't, I will forget about it. Um, da-da-da-da-da. I was gonna send it, and I was like, I want to see your reaction first.
Oh, am I having to
Um,
turn on the video now?
no, 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 no.
Oh,
Well, when I
you
say
want to?
see, I
Oh,
mean
you want to
hear.
hear it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I just sent you an email.
Oh Lord, I'm scared.
Don't be scared. as the silence permeates the room.
Oh, it's just I'm waiting for it to come through.
Oh yeah, it should be any
There
minute.
it is.
Yeah. Ba, 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 ba.
I know what those are. You found them.
I found them. They were in my OneDrive. I don't know what made me look in there the other day, but I was like, I have a OneDrive?
She just sent me pictures of where I'm talking about today. The first time we went. The second time I went, I got closer. But so I'm talking about Waverly Hills Sanatorium today. And she just sent me pictures of Waverly Hills. In Louisville, Kentucky, not Louisville.
It's Louisville.
Louisville. Not
Kind of like
Louisville.
Cherville.
Yes, like a Cherville. My husband gets on me so much about Cherville. And it's not Cherryville, it's Cherville. Okay. If you're from North Carolina, you know exactly where I'm talking about. And I have to say this, shout out to my Kentucky family who have been blowing it up, talking about, I've been listening to your podcast. Like even his cousin who lives in Texas. It's
nice.
like, I could fall asleep to y'all's voices. It's so soothing. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
His cousin friend started following us on Instagram the other day.
Oh, okay.
And I had sent her a friend request back because I'm like, yeah, you can do that. But yeah, so shout out to my Louisville family.
Yay.
That's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this. So talking about Waverly Hills Sanatorium, not to be confused with a sanitarium.
Right.
Which are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
A sanatorium is a medical facility for long-term illness, most typically associated with tuberculosis, in the late 19th and early 20th centuries before the discovery of antibiotics. A sanitarium is a health resort. So they can be kind of interchanged, but they are two different things.
Okay, gotcha.
So I had to write down the definition of those, and also not to be confused with the Metallica album, Sanitarium. It's not that either. So here we go. Purchased by Major Thomas Hayes in 1883 as his family home, it was so far from other schools that he actually opened his own school for his daughters to attend to. So he opened a one-room school on this.
Well, that makes sense.
So this is before Waverly got put on there.
Gotcha.
Major Hayes hired Lizzie Lee Harris as the teacher for his daughters. And because of her love for the Walter Scott Waverly novels, she named the school Waverly Hill, or Waverly School. So Major Hayes liked the name so much, he actually named the land Waverly Hill. So that's how it got its name.
Okay.
So little history of that. And then in the 1900s, Jefferson County, which is Louisville, which is where Louisville is, was hit with high numbers of tuberculosis cases because of the wetlands along the Ohio River. It was like a perfect breeding ground. And I asked my husband, who was born and raised in Louisville, about this. And he's like, yeah, it's just always hot, humid, and hazy. Like, that's the three H's that you hear the most. And like the mosquitoes are bad. It's just a real moist place.
You used the word.
I did, but I had to. Like, it snows a lot up there, and in the summer it's real humid, and it's just weather just kind of sucks up there. So because of this, tuberculosis was like a breeding ground for the bacteria.
Gotcha.
To try and contain the disease, a 2-story wooden sanatorium was first opened with an administrative building and 2 air pavilions, each housing about 20 patients. So a wooden structure was built first.
Right, and you would think with like it being built with wood, that would not be a good thing, especially as I don't want to use the M word, but as
Moist.
condensating as it is,
As moist as it is up there, you would think.
they would not use wood as their main structural component, but
You would
hey,
think, but this was back in the early 1900s.
true, true.
In August 31st, 1912, all tuberculosis patients from the city hospital moved to temporary tents on the grounds of Waverly Hills, pending the completion of advanced cases. So if you had it really, really bad, that's where you went and you stayed in a tent.
Yay, camping.
Yeah, pretty much. December 1912, a hospital for advanced cases opened for another 40 patients. 1914, another 50 beds were added, making the capacity, air quotes, 130 patients.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
That is
And
a
you don't realize it.
lot of people. Well, it
Mm-hmm.
gets worse. The children's wing was not only for children with TB, but children of patients as well. So if a mom and a dad had tuberculosis and couldn't take care of their child went and lived on Waverly Hills too.
But that had to be super dangerous for those who didn't have TB.
Well, once you were there, you were there. Like
That's right.
the doctors, the nurses, the staff, everything. Once you went to Waverly, you did not leave. That was your place. They had their own zip code. They had their own post office. They had their own farm and animals for milk and to slaughter. They had there was their own little town.
That's a little depressing.
It is. It's a lot depressing. It is. Especially when you think about back then before the antibiotic was made, you went up there pretty much to die.
Right, exactly.
The goal was to add a new building each year as needed. So on March 1924, construction started on a 5-story building that would house more than 400 patients.
March.
At least it wasn't your birthday this time.
That's true. That's true. Can't really deny that.
Construction finished and opened October 17th, 1924. In 1943, after the introduction of erythromycin, that's right, my medical degree actually came in handy. Tuberculosis numbers gradually lowered till there was no longer a need for such a large hospital, and the rest of the patients were moved to Hazelwood Sanatorium in Louisville.
Okay.
So they built this big ass building because of how bad it was. But after erythromycin was made, they realized they didn't need this big ass building anymore. So they moved them down the road.
Right.
Waverly Hills closed in June of 1961, only to be reopened in 1962 as Woodhaven Geriatric Center. So it became a nursing home.
Gotcha.
It's a big nursing home.
That is a big nursing home.
It is a big ass nursing home. Due to reports of neglect and being understaffed, it was closed by the state in 1982. So there were rumors of electroshock therapy, and because most of the patients that went there suffer from dementia. Mm-hmm. So they, as one does in, the 50s and 60s, electroshock therapy will fix everything. They also did lobotomies, or rumored to have done lobotomies, electroshock therapy, and kind of treated it like it was a mental institution, but it wasn't.
Gotcha.
Now, after it closed, it stayed vacant for about a year. And in 1983, my dyslexia. In 1983, J. Clifford Todd bought the hospital for $3.5 million. And he and architect Milton Thomas wanted to make the hospital into a minimum security prison. But that fell through because neighbors protested.
Gotcha.
They did not want a jail that close to anything. So that fell through. They then proposed to make it apartments, but that also fell through. And then it stayed vacant until March of 1996, where Robert, this is funny to me. Just hang in there. Okay. Robert Alberhasky bought Waverly and the surrounding area. He had plans to build the world's tallest Jesus Christ on the roof.
Are they trying to outdo like
Rio.
Brazil or something? Yeah, I
Yes.
was like, gonna say.
Yes, that's exactly what they were trying to do. The statue, which would have cost $4 million, was going to be 150 feet tall and 150 feet wide.
Wow.
And Waverly Hills is 156,000 square feet.
Right.
So they were going to put this big ass Jesus on the roof.
Well, okay then.
On the roof. The second phase would turn the sanatorium into a chapel, theater, and gift shop, which would have cost another $8 million. So we're already talking $12 million.
All right.
This also fell through because one, there's not a Jesus on the roof, and two, after fundraising for a year, they only raised $3,000.
Well, I mean, there's not really a need for a huge
A Rio de Janeiro Jesus.
Right. I mean, it's
Louisville,
bad enough.
Kentucky.
I mean, it's bad enough, like, when we're driving through different parts of, like, the South, we see those, like, huge, gigantic crosses that I always wonder how long it took to construct those. So.
There's one going up to Louisville.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
the way I
go.
That one. Yep, the way we go. There's right next to a sex shop.
Yep, always cracks me up.
Yes. And then the plans were officially canceled December of 1997. So then it stayed vacant again until 2001, when Tina and Charlie Mattingly bought Waverly Hills, and they now hold tours, paranormal hunts, and a haunted house during haunted Halloween.
Okay.
They're currently restoring all the windows and interior of the building, which I found out that each window costs $10,000.
Jeez Louise.
For one window.
God, it sounds like the guy who came and priced windows at our house the other day.
Dude, right?
$40,000. $40,000 is what they priced us.
I used to work for a window company.
Yeah,
I know.
Hello, but I was not expecting that much.
Yeah. So okay. So take 156,000 square feet,
and
each window is 10 grand.
That's insane. Insane.
So treatments for tuberculosis, which was also known as the White Plague, the White Death, the plague of all plagues, and consumption. And the reason it was called consumption was because it literally consumed you.
Yeah, it's not because you just eat too much.
Pretty much. Treatments for this were fresh air, rest, sunlight, even in the winter. Like, there's pictures of people that were rolled out into the pavilions that had snow on the foot of their bed, and they wouldn't bring people in unless the snow got to the bottom of their beds.
Oh my God.
Yes. Here comes the fun part. Lungs would be partially removed. They would be collapsed on purpose to give them a chance to heal, or they would put balloons in your lungs and blow them up.
No.
They would open you up and put your lungs under heat lamps like you see at burger places.
What?
Yeah. Because their thought was that the UV lights would kill the bacteria. So what's the best way of getting UV light to your lungs?
Then to fillet you open and pop them under a heat lamp.
Yep. Well, and tuberculosis also would fuck with your skin, would fuck with your liver and your brain. Because on the 5th floor is actually where they would, when the tuberculosis got to your brain and people kind of started going mentally insane, they would put you on the same floor as the children.
Oh, great.
Yeah, when you walk up the stairs, I think it's to the right side is the children's hall, and to the left is the tuberculosis wing, where if it got to your brain, you would go insane. They were on the same floor.
That just sounds so appropriate.
And then they would also remove up to 8 of your ribs.
Okay, Marilyn Manson, I see you.
And this had a mortality rate of in the 90s. You did not survive. Like 9 times out of 10, you did not survive this.
Yikes.
In pop culture, so that's done with the history. Now we're going to get to the good shit.
Yay.
In pop culture, it's been on many ghost hunting and paranormal shows, but here are a few of them. They've been on Ghost Hunters, Scary Places on Earth, Ghost Adventures, Paranormal Lockdown, and our personal favorite, Supernatural, Season 11, Episode 23.
Yes. Yes.
I had to throw that in there because supernatural.
When I found out that they were doing an episode from Waverly Hills, I nearly lost my shit. I'm not even going to lie.
And it was okay. So, sidebar. They only showed Waverly in that episode for all of maybe 10 minutes. It wasn't even that long, but they went to Waverly.
Yeah, it
There's
was like
no
combining my
way.
loves in like
Yes.
one
Yes.
episode.
Yes. All because Dean had to become a human bomb and they needed a lot of souls. Or where did they go?
Waverly.
Where somewhere between, okay, this is kind of a big gap. I've heard several different numbers. So somewhere between 8,100 to 6,000 people died. 60,000 people died.
Holy crap.
So, because at its worst, there were, again, so it's said, at its worst, people were dying 1 an hour.
Right.
And there's a thing called the death tunnel or the body chute, which is a ramp on one side, stairs on the other. And they thought, to boost morale, it wouldn't make everyone else happy to see all these dead bodies going out and being carted out. So they built a 500-foot tunnel that goes from the top of the hill all the way down to the bottom where a hearse would wait. But they also used this to get supplies from the bottom to the top. So it wasn't just the body chute.
Okay, that's still okay. I don't know how my feelings are about that. I mean, like, I can understand the whole, using it to make sure that people didn't know that other people. I mean, because think about it, hospitals today still kind of do something similar.
Taking you to the bowels of the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's still very similar to this day, but I don't know.
But they don't call it a body chute.
No, they don't.
But that would also get supplies from towns. Because, again, once you went to Waverly, you stayed at Waverly.
Right.
So they got this pulley system where you would send a cart down on the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
They would put the supplies in the cart and they would just wheel it back up.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they would do the same things to the coffin. They would attach it to the pulley system and lower it down.
Well, yeah.
So that no one could come in contact with it. And they only had a very small morgue on site. It had like 3 drawers.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I think it only had like 3 drawers. So they would get overwhelmed really easily, especially if one is dying every hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that would make sense that they just couldn't handle it. So they would need an alternative way for them to, especially whenever they don't want. I mean, you don't want your average everyday people going into this place because once you're in there, like you said, you're in there. So they needed a way to make it safe to transport bodies out of there. Yeah.
Because even, how do I put this? Because they thought it kind of like Ebola. Even if you're dead, you can still get Ebola from a dead body.
Right.
So they weren't sure if you could still get tuberculosis from a dead body.
Yeah. And it's an airborne disease, right?
Yes. It's a lot like COVID. Honest to God. It's a lot like COVID in the sense it's airborne if they talk to you and you're too close, sneeze, coughing, that whole thing. The bacteria gets in your lungs and it pretty much just shuts your lungs down.
Right. Okay.
So doing research for this, I'm like, this sounds a whole lot like COVID.
Yeah, it does, honestly.
Except tuberculosis was obviously worse. You don't get called the plague of plagues just because you have a coughing fit.
Right.
So here are the ghosts. There's a creeper on the 4th floor, which I will get into him in a minute.
Okay.
Shadow people that can bend around corners.
Oh, that's just creepy.
The death tunnel figures being wheeled down on a gurney, talking at the bottom of the tunnel.
No, thank you.
Orbs in the surgical room. Cold spots.
Do not mind orbs or cold spots. Never have, but
shadow people that can bend around.
That is fuck that. Sorry.
A man in a white coat named Joseph. He contracted TB and is known to roam the halls near the surgical room where he died mid-surgery after having his ribs removed. The 3rd floor, there's a little girl that'll run up and through you.
Ooh.
There's Timmy, who's probably the most well-known ghost next to the creeper. He's just a little boy that died on site.
Okay.
And you'll see him with one of those old school leather balls. Do you know what I'm
Okay.
talking about?
Yeah.
So you will see a ball roll towards you. It'll hit your feet, and when you look down, it's gone.
I don't like that.
Timmy has been known to play catch with you. You roll a ball down the hallway, he'll roll it back to you.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I don't remember where I heard this from, but it was one of the podcasts I was listening to in preparation for this. And they put a ball for Timmy on like the 3rd floor, went down to the 2nd floor. The ball was down on the 2nd floor by the time they got there.
That's cool shit.
And people will bring balls for him and just play with him because he's a little boy.
Right.
He just wants to play. This one's my favorite. There's a phantom hearse that will just drop coffins off and then slowly fade away.
Yes. Can you imagine like your life? You just drive a phantom hearse for the rest of your life.
Just a phantom hearse will pull up, drop off the coffins, drive away. You'll watch it drive down the hill, and then look down, and the coffins will just slowly fade away. That is metal
cool.
as shit.
That's cool as shit. I'm sorry.
That is probably one of my favorite ones. Is just the disappearing hearse. The smell of cooking, because again, they were self-sustained. So a lot of people will smell bread in the cafeteria.
There's honestly a lot worse things that you could smell during a haunting, so I would take that in a heartbeat in comparison.
Exactly. Opposed to what is known as, was it the Black Mass? That he shows up and you smell rotting flesh.
Ooh.
And it's said that if you just kind of back away from him and walk away and tell him no, he'll leave you alone. The creeper, on the other hand, this motherfucker right here will crawl up, will rush at you, crawl on the floors, go to the ceiling, or go up the walls, and through the ceiling.
No, thank you.
And he's known to be on the 4th floor, but he kind of hangs out everywhere.
That's like the Trans-Allegheny creeper.
Yes.
I don't like either one of them.
But this one, like he's black. Here we go again. He's blacker than black. Like,
oh yeah, like they said that he darkens.
Yes, and like
everything.
You'll think it's a trash can, and then all of a sudden something will just slowly start standing up.
Yeah,
that's the
I've heard that.
No,
thank you.
Fuck that. No. Screams and wailing. An energy ball will get thrown at you, whatever that means.
It's probably like
an orb will get thrown at you. Yeah,
kind of like collective energy, just like all of a sudden like hits you. That's what I would think it is.
Lights in the windows will turn on. There's no power in Waverly Hills.
Right.
But the lights will turn on. Objects will be thrown at you, mostly bricks.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but
yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is. A fucking brick will just get thrown at your ass. So you try to tell me that you don't have the energy or the power to just touch me, but you have the energy to pick up a fucking 5-pound brick and just toss it at my head?
Well, you would think that with also that kind of energy that you would have the energy to manifest yourself in front of another person.
Exactly.
As well.
Exactly.
That's just being petty.
No, you're just gonna throw a fucking brick at my head. That's cool. That's
a petty ass ghost right there.
No, the petty ass ghost is the one that punches you in the face.
Oh, ooh.
There's a ghost that will punch you in the face. Spirit clouds or mist will form in front of you. And then there's the most haunted room in the entire building, room 502.
Okay.
So a nurse was stabbed to death there by a patient.
Wow.
And then there was Mary Hillenberg, who hung herself. Now, the reason for her hanging is a little wonky.
Okay.
Some of them say it's because she got pregnant by a doctor, and the doctor was married.
Okay.
So she hung herself for that. Because again, this was in 1928. So unwed mother gets knocked up by a married man.
Right, and back then it's going to go either way. He's going to be leaving his wife or telling you, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. That was one reason, or one story. Another story was that the doctor performed an abortion on her, and it did not go good, and he staged her own death.
Okay.
The third one was she contracted TB
Okay.
and while she was pregnant, which means the baby was going to get TB,
Right.
and hung herself for that. And then there's she had the baby, threw it in a cellar, and hung herself.
I don't like any of them.
Don't like any of them.
Yeah, that's just horrible.
And then there's the nurse that jumped off the building. The She jumped off the roof right above 502. And they say, did she jump or was she pushed?
Gotcha.
Yes. There's the fourth floor, which you'll have thermal figures. That's where the shadows will bend around corners. It's on the fourth floor, which is where the surgical room is. This one makes me laugh. Room 418, there was Elizabeth and Jane who had TB together, and they made a pact that if one dies before the other, they would try to contact the other.
Okay.
Okay. I thought that was sweet. But then they think that they turned into the old women that they see that are bound in chains, bleeding from their wrist, and they'll come and scream at you for help.
But how did that happen?
Don't know. Don't know. Because nothing says that when Waverly was a TB hospital, people were chained to the wall or anything like that. For all intents and purposes, it was a nice place. And I haven't heard that it was like really overcrowded. No one really did anything crazy other than hang themselves or jump off the roof. But like as far as like mistreating of patients, I have not read anything that they've mistreated patients and chained them to the walls. But as far as the geriatric center, they think that's where these old ladies came from.
Gotcha.
Because they were mistreated, they were understaffed, they were neglected. People have seen her running out of the front of the building screaming for help. And when you go to help her, she'll turn around and run the other way screaming for help. So she wants your help, but when you try to help,
it's like, I want help, not you.
But not you. Because there are no windows in this place, the water puddles will get in when it rains and stuff like that. So you can actually see wet footprints form and walk away from you.
Okay, that's kind of cool, actually.
This is the trippy one. Doppelgangers, or as they call them at Waverly, double walkers.
Oh, doppelgangers, man. Those things freak me out.
They're known to be doppelgangers at Waverly. There's a story of one of the guides being on the third floor, like walking away from the tour to go to the third floor, came back down, and his tour was still there. And he's like, guys, what are you doing? He was like, you were just standing in front of us. How did you get over there?
No, thank you.
Yeah, there's doppelgangers, or they call them double walkers, which
the
name double walker freaks me out more than doppelganger.
Well, I mean, the theory of doppelgangers just...
If you see it, you die. If you see your own doppelganger, you will die.
Yeah, exactly. That's the part that gets me. Like, there was an episode of, oh my God, what was the name? My Haunted House.
Mm-hmm.
Where the husband and wife had doppelgangers in this house.
Oh, no.
So, like, the husband would think he would see his wife when it was actually her doppelganger, and also the wife would see her husband thinking it was him and it was his doppelganger.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it was actually like really cool though, because the reason why the doppelganger showed up was to get them to leave the house, because apparently they had not argon. What is the name of that one? It's not asbestos. It's not
mesothelioma.
No, not that one. What is the name of that one? It's like as bad as like...
It's asbestos.
No, it's not asbestos. It's a gas. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. But anyway, they had some type of leak.
Carbon monoxide?
It's like carbon monoxide, but it's just as bad. But they had a leak, and it was slowly killing them. And so yeah, they decided to leave the place because of it. So they don't know if it was like carbon monoxide that was making them, or the whatever it was making them think they were crazy. But either way, the doppelgangers basically saved their lives. So
yeah, no,
that's the point of the story.
No. Every time I hear doppelganger, I think of the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, that's when things started getting really confusing on that show.
Catherine was still my bitch. I don't give a shit what nobody says. Anyway, and then something will run up the body chute twitching.
No, thank you.
They'll do that creepy like Samara from The Ring walk.
Oh, I was thinking about the nurses from Silent Hill.
That's better. But yeah, something will run up twitching.
No, thank you.
So On Destination Fear, we're into the TV shows now.
Yay, one of my favorites.
They got EVPs of Bring Souls, Bring Souls. Someone said, describe one of us. And they said, girl. And what's her name? Britt?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Chelsea was there. Mm-hmm. And then they got the word mommy right outside of room 502. Feelings of being followed. There was a white mist in the photos, footprints, scratching. Tanner got a bloody nose on the 5th floor right in front of 502.
Yep.
And it said that a lot of people will get sick in front of 502.
The mere fact that they did it in the snow is the one that got me, though.
Yes. And then as Tanner was on the 5th floor, I think it was. Yes. Tanner was on the 5th floor. He caught something walking behind him on camera.
Yeah, that's the thing I was trying to remember that happened. Yeah, that was
on Paranormal Lockdown. This was the third time Nick had been there because he'd been there twice with Ghost Adventures. Katrina said it got into the surgical room and said it was hard to breathe, like the wind got knocked out of her.
Right.
There was a voice in the surgical room. The shadow lights. They had a really cool like LED strip that if a ghost went over it, it would show you which way it was coming. It was really, really awesome. It lit up for Nick in the body chute while he was asleep. Like he was dead asleep and this thing just lit up like crazy. And then something ran down the chute at him and he woke up.
Yeah, I remember that. He said he felt like he was being rushed at.
Yes. They got the EVPs of Are You Dead? They said yes. Where can we find the shadow figures? The morgue and Die. While Katrina was literally in one of the drawers. This never ceases to amaze me that these people, hold up, I'm going on a rant. These people will go in these morgue drawers. Mm-hmm. That is the last fucking place you are going to find me.
Yep.
At Trans-Allegheny, I got to see the morgue pretty much. Mm-hmm. And they had the drawers and one of them was like out. And jokingly, our tour guide was like, do you want to get in it? I'm like, hell no. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you crazy? No, you people are dumb to get into these things. Okay. Sorry.
No. I get it. Like
I get real passionate about people getting into more drawers when they're alive. No.
Yep. I don't know. Like, was it Nick that got in one or was it Zach? I can't remember.
I'm getting to that one. I have those pictures on here too. Zach got in. They heard footsteps and then they did a thermal of the outside on a drone, which was really fucking cool. And Katrina and Nick were on the 4th floor and right below them, a black figure just blocked out the door and then shot up to the ceiling.
Gotcha.
Which I think that was the creeper, but that's just me.
Yeah, probably.
On Ghost Hunters, I'm saving the best for last. Ghost Hunters, they had a wheelchair move on its own.
I remember that one.
Footsteps in a death tunnel, voices on the 2nd floor, knocking in the nurse's wing, counted 2 for yes, 3 for no, and it was on demand. And one of the cool things was it said, I can't remember who it was now, was like, would you like us to pray for you? And you heard a knock. And so they did a prayer for him and the girl got really emotional over it. I just made my dog start barking because I knocked on the wood. I can hear him barking. Sorry, Cello. Legs running across the hall. They got that in one of their first times they were there because they'd been there 3 times too. And one of their times they got just no upper body, just legs running across the hallway. The ball moved on its own like 20 or 30 feet. And they caught 3 voices at once on an EVP.
Okay. That's really hard to do, but...
That is, but they got 3 separate voices talking at one time.
Which is so cool to me.
Now our personal favorite. Ghost Adventures.
Oh, Zach.
Freaking Zach Baggins. Nick's side started hurting in the surgical wing. As the guy was explaining to him what was happening, he started pinching his side like someone was stabbing him or something in the side. The EVPs they got Give Me a Break. That would be evil. You're not gonna make it, which screw you, man. I'm gonna make it. They got Whistles. I forgot to make him smile. Remember Me, and Gonna Get Zach.
Poor Zach.
First off, these ghosts know my name. No. Nobody. The REM pod went off when asked if they liked playing with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Zach got his ankle grabbed, and an EVP saying, "Keep on dragging from the bad drugs we took."
Wow.
Whatever that means. Which I think that's just they were so doped up on different meds, different pain meds, because tuberculosis has to be a painful drug because or painful disease because you're pretty much suffocating to death slowly.
Right. Your lungs have got to just be
so
on
it
fire.
has to hurt. So they were obviously on pain meds.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what year it is? They got 2010, a scream on the 4th floor, which you could hear perfectly, like without the recorder or everything. You heard it in live time.
Right. Which to me is the worst.
They caught a full body apparition, and Aaron saw Nick's doppelganger.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Aaron was walking past a room, looked over, went to say something, looked back, and was like, "Nick, why are you over there? You were just in this room."
Mm-hmm.
And that, my friends, it was Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
One day.
I'm going. I'm going to. Okay. So my husband's from Louisville, Kentucky, and when we were up there for Thanksgiving dinner, and he's like, "I got a surprise for you." I said, "Okay, cool." We drove to Waverly Hills because they do a light show on the back of Waverly Hills for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So he took me to the light show in the back of Waverly Hills. And I was just sitting here watching the lights bend around things. And I'm sitting there going, "Ooh, there's a ghost there. Ooh, they got one there. Ooh, what are you?" "Ooh, buddy." And Josh is the whole time going, "Do you see something? What are you seeing?" I was like, "There's a ghost right there. There's one right there. There's one over there." Oh, and it just made me want to go in this place even more.
Yeah.
I will go to Waverly one day. This is my obsession. I will go to Waverly one day.
Well, luckily for us, they've reopened tours. So that's the thing that I was looking at online.
Yeah. And me and Aubrey have picked to go to Kentucky this year or next year for our camping trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I was like, "We are going to Waverly."
They do have overnights there now.
No, fuck that. I'm going during the day. No. Once that sun starts going down, I'm out that bitch.
I think I could spend the night there.
No.
Yeah, I think I could do it.
I'm too sensitive for that shit. I see enough stuff during the day. Every time I pass a cemetery, I say, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen," every single time. Because I don't need someone to get in my car and be like, "Hey, what's up?" No. Yeah. No. And someone made one of the podcasts I was listening to was like, "But before and after you go, make sure you get blessed because you don't want something coming with you." I was like, Jesus. No, there's no way I would do it overnight. There's no way. I like getting the shit scared out of me, but not literally. And I'm pretty sure I would literally get the shit scared out of me.
I think I would love it. Like, I think I could do it. I just, I would have to have like a good group of people with me though, because I don't think I could do it by myself, like with strangers. I'd have to have people that I can depend on to be there.
I love you to death. I love Aubrey to death. I love Nikki to death. Well, fuck that. No. Yeah. No. Because you can't. I was listening to Astonishing Legend, which, holy shit, they did a 3-hour podcast on Waverly Hills. And they got deep into it. And like, you can't turn on the flashlights until the guy tells you to turn on the flashlight. So you're just walking around in the dark. No, sir. No, sir. I'm going to go during the day where I can see where the fuck I'm going, take my pictures, and then be like, "Oh, I'm out." Appreciate it. I'm gone.
Yeah, I just, I've always been a big fan of that place. And I do think out of all of the haunted locations in America, the one that I don't think I could actually stay at would be the Goldfield Hotel.
Oh, the Stanley Hotel.
Oh, no, the Goldfield.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the Stanley.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't stay in the Stanley.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I could do that one.
I could not stay in the Stanley Hotel. Could not. I couldn't stay in Waverly Hills either. I'm a chicken shit. I could talk about these things all day. I can go to them during the day and be fine. but the second that sun starts going down, mm-mm.
Well, I just seen like all the stuff that's happened with like Zach and them. Because that's where they pretty much got their break was the brick being thrown at them and the board levitating at them
Yeah,
in their first ever documentary that they recorded, and it's just the Goldfield is just so. I had dreams about the Goldfield Hotel.
that's me in Waverly. I have
Yeah.
dreams about Waverly, especially these last 2 weeks because I've done nothing but listen and watch stuff on Waverly Hills. I've
Mm-hmm.
had dreams about Waverly Hills,
Yeah.
and one of the funniest things ever was when we went the first time. We had to go past the golf course to get to the back entrance,
Yeah.
and Josh goes, "I used to play golf right there. I had no idea this was up here." I'm like, "You're telling me you didn't know the most haunted place in the US was in your backyard?"
Yeah.
Because he lived 10 minutes down the road from Waverly Hills. You used to play golf in the backyard of Waverly Hills and you had no idea. He's like, "No, I had no idea. I used to play golf right there." I'm like, "You son of a gun. Are you kidding
Had
me?"
had no idea it was there. That's
No,
crazy.
he had no idea until he started dating me that this place even existed. So shout out to Waverly Hills.
Yeah,
I
that
will go inside you one day. And that sounded so wrong. I mean, I said what I said. I'm not going to take it back, but
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that was really good. Like I've always been a huge fan of Waverly Hills. It's just, I don't know. One of these days, like I said, I'm gonna go, like you said, we're gonna go inside that place. And
uh-huh.
I am so excited to do so. I just I don't know. I think I would want to do one of the overnight tours, but
Nope.
I know what you said, to each his own.
Yeah, buddy. You start bringing out flashlights. And
So let's
I don't
talk
even do
about.
cemeteries at night.
Oh, well, I don't mind cemeteries at night. I go play Pokemon. I go
Fuck that.
Pokemon hunting.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that shit. I'm out. Uh-uh.
Oh man. But okay, so let's talk about my absolute fan struck issue that happened the other day when I made a tweet about me listening to the Mothman
Oh,
episode.
yes. And Christine liked it.
Yeah, Christine from And That's Why We Drink liked my post, and I was like, Senpai no. Oh man. Yeah, we've gotten some requests for do some collaborations with other paranormal and true crime podcasts, which I think is
So cool.
absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's just that blew my mind. And on top of that, we are consistently growing in listeners, and I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. I've got several people who've reached out to me who are going to be submitting some listeners' tales to us.
Yes.
So that's going to be coming up very soon. We're probably going to have to do like 2 recordings that day. We're going
Oh,
to
no.
release. Yeah, whatever shall we do? But got some good ones that are going to be coming, which I'm really excited about. One of them even involves the area of the Cecil Hotel, which is going to be that one's going to be cool. I can't wait for that one. On top of that, we are growing with our Instagram and Twitter pages, and yeah, so just keep on listening to us, guys, and sharing them with your friends and subscribing. Leave us some feedback. Let us know what we're doing, and
Reviews. Leave us a review. That would be great.
please,
That made our day
yeah,
the other day.
yeah. We got a review on the Apple Podcast, and I was like, what?
No.
So definitely reach out to us and give you some of our details. Of course, we have our email, which is darkpodcastemail@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Dark Podcast US. You can find us pretty much everywhere. You can find your podcasts that you listen to, and definitely send us some listeners' tales, guys. We're going to start doing them. I'm thinking we're going to do them at the end of the month every month. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. I know that you are so creative with your writing skills, and it's just going to be so much fun.
And your experiences. are so kick-ass. Because
Oh
again,
yeah.
we could talk about our experiences for days, but we want to hear what your experiences with true crime and spooky shit are.
And if you guys have any ideas of how I can get my dad safely out of the closet without my mom knowing, please let me know.
Oh, you're gonna have to do it in the middle of the night.
Oh, that's all there is to it. By
Oh,
the
son
way,
of a bitch.
so my dad was a very into like ghosts and the paranormal and stuff like that. And I didn't really, I mean, I knew, but like I didn't really know how much he was into it. I was talking to my mom the other day, and about I'd say probably about 2 months after he died, I was using one of the apps that you can get on your phone. That's kind of popular on TikTok for a while, and I can't remember the name of it,
Oh,
but I
I think I
tried it
know which
out.
one you're talking about.
Yeah. I tried it out, and I swear to God, my dad's voice came through. It sounded just like him. It said, "Hello."
That's creepy.
Yeah, so
Well, there you go. We got our first listener story right there.
so yeah, my dad I think would really totally appreciate and love this podcast if he was still here. So it's kind of hard to believe that it's almost been a year since he left, but he's not gone completely, by no means whatsoever. I mean, I can go talk to him anytime I want to. I just got to open my closet door.
Jesus Christ, Alicia.
Anyway, so
All I
you
can think
guys.
about now is R. Kelly's in the closet. Sweet Lord. He's in the closet. He's in the closet.
I should get Tom Cruise and John Travolta to come help me.
I got that reference.
I'm so glad you did.
God
Tom's not
damn.
going to be mad. Nicole's
I'm
not
not
going to
gonna
be
be mad.
mad.
Fucking okay. So me and my husband were talking about South Park the other day too, and I was
Mhm.
telling him about the Coon episodes
Oh yes,
where
the
Cartman
king.
dressed up like a raccoon.
Yeah, the
And I
king.
was telling the kid, and I was telling him about that and everything. That he's like, South Park is just its own breed. I was like, dude. And then I started watching it that night. I had to. Like, it was
Yeah,
the greatest thing.
now I'm going to have to watch that episode. Oh my god. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for spending your time with us, letting us tell you some stories. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, concerns, or just want to share a listener story, don't forget darkpodcastemail@gmail.com. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you guys very soon. And don't forget, stay out of the dark.
Bye.
Bye.